Alright everyone, welcome to Atlanta Motorspeedway. Time for the EchoBuck 250 on this worn-out racetrack. It's not a super speedway, it's a worn-out tire-eating racetrack. Let's get ready to rumble! Alrighty, welcome back guys to Florida Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Riding aboard, we've got the Hunt Brothers Pizza Cam available for qualifying as we get ready to hit the banks of Atlanta here with the old worn-out surface that's going to be ripping our tires into little tiny pieces and making Goodyear very unhappy because their tires. There's probably going to be a lot of tire failures in this race. Also, I forget how bumpy this track is. Very, very bumpy. So we'll see how this all goes. Car feels pretty decent at the moment. We'll see how much speed we have for the qualifying lap. We will see where we put our Florida Racing Hunt Brothers Pizza Mustang in the field here. And let off the throttle there in 1 and 2. Typically you can hold throttle in 3 and 4. It's usually 1 and 2 that has a bit of issue there. But typically pretty good. A little bit of out of the throttle in the first part of 3 and 4. But then typically you can run it wide open all the way the rest of the way through. And coming to the line, and not good, but not terrible. We found the same place that we have been qualifying. A little bit better though. So starting 13th with our Florida Racing Mobile, and on pole we got Brandon Jones. So let's go racing. Alrighty, deep in the south of Georgia, we have Atlanta Motorspeedway, as we have Austin Cindric, who had an engine change, Ray Black Jr., who failed technical inspection, and your Brandon Jones is the pole winner of the EchoBuck 250. Let's go racing and torture some tires. And we are off. I'm not sure what these guys in front of me were doing. They were kind of in some sort of weird lane all to themselves, but I think we're back to where we need to be. So we're going to be racing here with the important facts of the race as we get started. We got ourselves 41 laps of racing with 16 laps of fuel at the start of the race here, so at least 2 pit stops will be needed just for fuel, and tires are going to be getting eaten alive here on this track as is usual for the old style Atlanta, which is gonna make, wow, and it's slick. The track is very, very slick. I'm not sure what's going on with this, but it is very, very slick as we hit the wall there a little bit. Atlanta, I like the old Atlanta in NASCAR Heat 5. It is just such fun to drive. All right, we got Brandon Jones up there leading. I think we got Brandon Brown below us. Yep, there he is, falling back a little bit there. Let's see what we can do here. Get past Burton and Michael and Nett here blocking us a little bit. Running up the racetrack just a little bit. Got Chase Briscoe up here as per usual. Running high line there. You can just see tires slowly getting eaten away here on the old Atlanta setup. Yeah, I gotta remember my my throttle blips. Kind of have to blip the throttle on entry to 3 and 4. You kind of have to just let out of the throttle, honestly, in 1 and 2 to some degree. So let's see here, right here, just let out a little bit. There we go, yep. That got us to where we needed to be. And we got some draft as well, which makes this track a lot of fun. Yes, entering in 3 and 4, just let off the throttle right there. Sometimes you can do a nice short blip and it gets you where you need to be. Sometimes you gotta do a longer off throttle time as you enter 3 and 4. It just depends on when you do it. I think we have some gearing that we could have done, honestly, with the car. Could have switched that up a little bit and got a little bit more speed, I think, because I think we're kind of redlining it at about. Let's see here. Yeah, we might be redlining the car. Ooh, boy, you got loose there. Let off the throttle, gonna hit the brake a little bit. I was gonna try and give Briscoe a push there, but Gregson ended up being the next guy closest. Gonna hit this line low. Right on the throttle there for a nice long time, and we are going to ride this Harvick line. Ooh, hit the wall a bit. Dixon got a bit of a run. That'll be good. Man, I like how the car feels. I love this track. This track is so much fun to drive. But the race car feels really, really good. Not too stiff, which would end up just absolutely decimating our tires. But also just that little bit of loose, just ever so slightly loose, where the rear tires can kind of step out just a tad. And that just lets me corner so much better. Kind of like it to be a little bit more that way, a little bit more stepping out in the rear. But I'm not going to complain about it enough to change it, because the car is doing really, really good, and I don't want to mess that up as we hit the lead here at Atlanta. Getting past Brandon Jones, and we are the leader here. At Atlanta Motorspeedway, you have to flip the throttle a whole lot, kind of washed up the racetrack. Jones is going to have a bit of a run here. Should get past him going in 3 and 4. Yeah, but we're going to get past him here, take away his air there a little bit. Love Atlanta, the old school Atlanta. It's just so much fun to drive here. Lots of fun. Love it. Alright, so now we got to look at tire strategy. So now that we are leading the field, we got to already look at pitting, because we only got 25. The line there. Get the car under control there. Alright, we got 23% left on the front tire here. Ooh, almost hit the wall there. 7 laps of fuel remaining, so honestly, we're going to probably be constantly running with a positive on fuel. It's going to be, the tires are going to be issues. So we lost 5% in that last lap. And off throttle here, we can kind of ease it around. Yeah, you can just see tires are getting chewed up real good. Should be able to make it around another lap. And also, we're kind of watching too to see if we get any cautions, because that's going to play a role into what we do strategy-wise. Watching that tire, because we might be able to make one more lap around it. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, we can make another lap with this tire. Should be good. Off throttle, nice and easy to the corner here. Brandon Jones catching up to us just a little bit there. And it is time to pit the tires, because I don't want to push my luck with another one. At pit road, we have arrived. Don't have any damage. We're not changing anything on the setup, wedge-wise, tape-wise, anything like that. The car is driving excellent. So let's shut up here and let's listen to the pit crew do their work. Alright, a caution occurred during our pit stop, but luckily we still cycle out to the front, which is excellent. Looks like we only have one car on pit road, so apparently someone just either burst a tire or spun, as there's only one guy on pit road who has a mechanical failure, and that is the Ford of Little, I think. And so, with brand new tires, we just decimate the field on the restart and just totally pulled away. That is obnoxiously incredible, but as I said, love the structure. Yeah, you can see where the guy ended up just running up, hitting the wall. We're trying to run up that high line there in Atlanta with cold tires. That does not typically work out well. We kind of want those tires warm up just a little bit more before we Really start putting those to the test on the high line. Nice and easy, nice and easy. No one thought we got Ryan. Yep, Ryan Sieg there behind us. He's having a really good day so far. No Gregson as well. Up the wall there on the entry. We'll try a crossover move, and that's actually going to work out really, really good there. We'll be right on past him. Got let off the throttle there on the entry. Let off again midway through the turn. And we're also going to keep him behind us this time. Alright, we have 14 laps of fuel remaining. Going to see how many laps we have left in the race. And obviously we're watching tires as always, as that's going to be the biggest thing we got to do here at Atlanta. Alright, what do we got? 22 laps remaining, 13 laps of fuel, so definitely one more pit stop or caution flag. Should be able to allow us to get to the end here, but we're going to want to click off a few laps here before we have either of those happen. And unfortunately, I did not watch to see how many laps we were able to do with tires. So that's unhelpful. That would have been helpful to watch, because that would have let us know where we are lap-wise on tire strategy and where we're running. But unfortunately, I didn't watch that. So now we gotta guesstimate where we're gonna be. So we have a car come up here and not hit Ryan Sieg. Brandon Jones coming back to the front. He's had a good car all day. Yep, and Jones to inside, outside, inside. Off throttle on the turns 1 and 2. And that just lets us kind of rip around the top edge there and just get past them on the straight. Just taking that higher line. About throttle right here. Yeah, it just lets us have so much more speed on the straightaway, or momentum I should say. Ooh. Yep, so there we go, they're kind of fighting each other there a little bit, so that's going to help us out. Hit the wall there a little bit, amazingly no damage from that. That's going to bring them right back to us. Got no Gregson back there. I think we got Anthony Alfredo in this top 5, sure do. And there is the caution. We have 19 laps remaining. That's not going to be enough for fuel or tires, I believe. Looks like we got quite a few guys pitting. A few guys going to opt out of pitting. We're going to go ahead and pit here, just so that we already have the fuel that we need. Well, maybe not the fuel, but we'll just be closer to where we need to be. And next caution, we will be ready to go here. 17 laps of fuel remaining. Coming to the line, we've got 15 laps remaining. So we have the fuel. I don't think we have the tires necessarily, as we are now starting back behind front row Joe Nemechek. Getting a nice push from Gregson here into the turn, and front row is on the front row just for a little bit. As we were able to rocket right past him there, turns 3 and 4. He actually kind of held us up there a little bit, so that ended up letting us not have to brake into turns 3 and 4. Let off throttle here. And we are good to continue on here. Alright, so we got everybody kind of checked up there, because everybody without tires that didn't pit, they moved their way to the front, so now they're going to be suffering. So potentially we'll see, before the end of this race, we'll see one of them end up having a tire issue, potentially. And that could end up getting us to where we need to be for sure on fuel. I think we're good on fuel. The biggest thing, as I said, is tires. So one more caution at the end of this thing could really get us to where we need to be. But also, if those guys are playing the strategy of pitting before us, that might just help them out. We're gonna have to see what all they play strategy-wise. But they might have a pretty good game plan if it goes green. If it doesn't go green, I don't think they have much of a game plan here. Yeah, you can just watch the tires just absolutely get ripped to little tiny pieces on this track. So let's see if we can't do a little tire saving here. Be nice and smooth into the corners as much as we can. Try and lower some of that tire shred in the corners. Anthony Alfredo in third, which would be a huge day for him if he could pull that off in the number 21 RCR machine. We got Chase Briscoe here as well. Yeah, we got Anthony Alfredo running the top line there. Yeah, we can't really save tires. Chase Briscoe here is going to be running kind of hard as well. Well, we cut off about 20 degrees off of what our tires were running in 3 and 4. So let's see if we can keep that going and just save as much as we can here. Yep, saving some tire. Running up to the wall, there we go. Yeah, because we were running 260, we're running about 240 now in the corners, so I think that can really help us. 3 and 4, we can really save a lot. We barely get to 40 degrees there, so yeah, we're doing pretty good here. Alright, 9 laps remaining, 10 laps of fuel remaining. So also we're running a little bit less throttle here, seeing if we can't save our fuel. Someone has pitted down pit road, don't know who that is. Looks like they have stopped, so potentially we will lap them this next time by. Chase Briscoe trying to take the bottom here. Squeeze him just a little bit, there we go. Now we are saving some temperature on that tire. Who is that? That is, I don't know who that is. Look like the Zero of Earnhardt. Alright, so there we go, saving a little bit of tire. Briscoe going to be to the outside here. Just trying to see if we can't save anything tire-wise, because if we can save our tires, that would be huge. And this is all part of the strategy if it doesn't go green all the way. Well, actually, this is part of the strategy if it does go green all the way, which it looks like it actually might this time. I got some more guys pitting. So there were guys that did not pit that last caution, so their tires aren't going to be in the best shape. So more than likely we're going to get a caution with one of them trying to run as far as they can and spinning out with a blown tire. But if we can save some of our tire here, then we can rip around Briscoe pretty easy at the end of this thing, but we got to make sure that we have enough tire at the end. And we're saving quite a bit of tire here without going so high on the tire tip. Yep, we got more guys pitting, so those are the guys without tires. Trying to get back to Briscoe here. And trying to save tire all at the same time. Someone in the field's not going to be able to save tire, because almost the entire field's on the same strategy that we are. So somebody in this field's not going to be able to save enough. Alright, let's get up to Briscoe. We don't have to be in front of him, but we need to be up to him. There we go. Coming in with a little bit more speed, nice and easy. If you can just stay in his draft, that would be perfect, honestly. We just gotta save those tires just a little bit. We got 27%. I think we can make that work. But we can't be hitting 240 degrees on the tire in the turns. We gotta save that. But once again, I don't know who in the field's not going to be able to save that. Is the problem. Nice and easy. And see, when the drafts, that's helping us keep up speed without running the fuel down. 3 laps remaining. We saved fuel, so we're saving tires then. Doing a really good job at that. So this is tire saving strategy here. Briscoe's a little bit slow this time. Stay behind him. See what he's got going on. And he's going to have to pit the tires. Briscoe is not going to risk it. We got 2 laps remaining. Can I make it? It's going to be close. Anthony Alfredo trying to risk it as well. I'm using so little throttle at the moment. You see the temperature in that right front. That's what we're wanting to watch. Keeping that under 200 as much as possible. And Alfredo has to pit for tires. Here we go, 1 lap to go, presented by Combustion Gamer Gear. Get your Florida racing merch. As we saved enough tire to make this all the way around. Usually I can't do that, but did a really good job on that. We saved the fuel, we saved the tire. I actually want to take the checkered flag too. Hope nobody else crashes before that. And we're able to save it all the way to the line. Tire saving is at its finest there. Because if I had been going all the way out, we would not have saved that. So that is back-to-back wins. That is awesome. That is such a fun track. I love that so much. That is such a fun track. Alrighty guys, that was an incredible race. Love that. Lots of nice tire strategy there at the end, as typically these races kind of end up being. But yeah, did a great job saving the tire. And there we go. We got a wacky top 10. We've got ourselves there winning our Florida racing Mustang. We got Ray Black Jr., Chad Fickham, Harrison Burton, Justin Haley, Roddy Herbst, Brandon Jones, Ryan Sieg, Anthony Alfredo, and Ross Chastain. A very wacky top 10 there with Ray Black Jr. and Chad Fickham being up here. Then taking a look at the rest of the field, everyone else is a lap down. We got Mike Harmon, Kobe Howard, Matt Mills, Landon Castle, Joe Kraft Jr., Josh Malicki, Chase Briscoe, Noah Gregson, who are having great days, honestly. Because of the pit strategy, ended up falling to 17th and 18th. And then you got Axel Bay and Daniel Hemrick in there, and all the way in the bottom is Just Little and Jeffrey Earnhardt and Austin Cindric and Joe Nemechek. They're all having bad days, so that's unfortunate for them. And then taking a look at the standings, not much has changed here. Everything looks about the same, but of course we have a beautiful 4 wins in our win column, which is very nice to see. So anyways guys, that is it for us here at Atlanta Motorspeedway with Florida Racing. Hope you enjoyed today's video. That was a lot of fun saving tires there at the end, and hopefully we'll see you guys here next time. Bye bye.